Wayne Allen Sally, reading from Beneath the Empire of the Birds by Carl Watson. This is part 3. Sacrifice and mutilation, violence and salvation. Decapitated chickens hanging from a barbed wire fence as a form of atonement. A candle in the shape of a skull glows in a window. A stone flies through the air. A scream cuts the distance like a knife. The dream of transcendence may be disguised, but it exists everywhere. Horror spit spunk in the back seats of Chevys in the graveyard-flanked alleys. They don't bother with romantic illusions. Amongst the odors of cunt, unwashed pits, sour dick, Clorox, sulfur, cold chicken fat, whiskey, egg yolks, chow mein, burger shit, and burnt metal, romance gets a bit displaced. It dissipates into lesser activities. A man jerks off, curled up in a fetal huddle until his jizz stings his underpants like a gun. Nobody hears his shot in the dark, though. Nobody but those bound in by time and the same act. But then again, drunks puking or shitting or jagoffs jerking off or nodding dopers on the sidewalks don't spend their seed necessarily in vain here. Evidence of hope, gifts of promise still exists. If the rain had just ended, earthworms crawl out of the parkway dirt, and like the devolved organs of an ancient eroticism, they writhe in unreadable directives on concrete. Fertility is often a function of feeding. A smashed cabbage, a broken bag of flour, sugar, mud, a jar of yellow mustard or barbecue sauce puddled like dark blood. These are signs. Container and content mock each other. Busted beer bottles and shattered pints of sweet wine, debunked myths, broken dreams, cliches, and other lies. Things break, flow, disintegrate. People shrug and stare at the wreckage. On Broadway, a denizen blows his lunch in a green puddle. A crowd gathers to watch it steam. The men's balls swell unspent. The women's breasts are itching and ready. Everything is at its breaking point. Everything is full to the brim with ignorance. Even the bean-sized balloons of dope in the mouths of 10-year-old runners. Their gift is bliss. The bubble that would have punctured killed them, then their stray balloons from street fairs to mock them. And the condoms tossed on the sidewalk. Those other balloons that, if punctured, might cause conception, God forbid. Some are stretched to abnormally large size, like overripe fruit. Some are filled with an unclear fluid, maybe rain. Children find these condoms, tie them to strings, and twirl them about like kites. They call them scum slings as they tell each other to fuck off. There are used diapers and sanitary napkins too. Here and there a rag or paper towel soaked with blood. You could kick these aside, but for some reason you don't. You step around this trash. You don't want to disturb the patterns or the possibilities of a better future taking root. But then again, far from disgusting, these surprise bundles can be beautiful. That's what we tell ourselves, that these eggs are part of our reason to be here. Because the cycle of life and death is so fast here. Every day a building is condemned or burns. A mini mall is built. A lie is propagated, and there are many more pregnancies and killings. We perpetuate the madness, but nobody cares here. Nobody probably even knows. Everybody here is a victim of gravity or grace. It's part 3.